Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I am here to talk about possibilities. Every human endeavor seeks to realize some possibilities. But unfortunately, most of us tend to channelize our energies to realize only those possibilities that are palpable, perceptible, and seeable. Hardly we realize the fact that beyond this set of seeable possibilities lies a huge ocean of unseeable possibilities that are far more rewarding, far more remunerative, and far more exciting. My life has taught me that one of the things that would power a person to get unshackled from these seeable possibilities and to venture into the domain of unseeable possibilities is a set of unconventional decisions. Today, I intend to discuss a few such unconventional decisions that made me what I am today. Friends, I belong to a small, sleepy, non-descriptive town called Koratagare, which is about 90 kilometers from Bangalore. Just as any other kid, when I was in first standard or second standard, I wanted to become an engineer. Why? Because I had seen an engineer and being an engineer was a seeable possibility. But when I was in fourth or fifth standard, I don't remember exactly, something interesting happened. One fateful night, one eventful night of my life, I had a tiff with my father. My father had beaten me. I was crying. The entire atmosphere at home was very much tensed. Then in the background, one Kannada news was being played. Back then, amidst this news, at the beginning of commercial break, they used to give one general knowledge question whose answer they used to reveal at the end of that commercial break. That eventful night, the question that I got was, which is the first country to give voting rights to women? Then amidst that sobbing, husky voice, I shouted New Zealand. My dad, who was already very angry at me, suddenly became curious, silent, stopped beating me and waited for that answer and found the answer to be correct. I had read it somewhere. Then, actually, my dad's anger gave way to love. He came and he hugged me. The entire atmosphere at house changed. In that tender formative age, my mind thought, if I had to win over the hearts of people, I had to learn general knowledge. Perhaps that was the first unconventional decision that I did in my life. So, I started reading general knowledge books, I started watching quiz shows, Kaun Banega Crorepati, other stuff, while all my other class friends restricted themselves to class notes, textbooks, etc., etc. My love to general knowledge grew so much, I started asking every so-called educated uncles, whoever I met, which is the most difficult general knowledge exam in the country. Everybody used to give me the same answer, IAS. It was back then, the seeds of IAS were sown into my conscience. Then I came to 10th standard, finished my 10th standard comfortably with 100% marks in mathematics, 94% aggregate. I was topper amongst all government schools in my district. So, it was here I was to make second most unconventional decision of my life. I wanted to become an IAS officer. I knew that IAS examination predominantly concentrated on humanities subjects. So I said I would choose humanities as my elective in my +1 and +2. This surprised many people. People thought me I was mad. People thought me I was eccentric. Because obviously choosing science for a topper was a normal conventional path that anybody would take. But somehow I said no, I would do IAS. So when everybody mocked at me, everybody laughed at me, there were only two souls who said, beta, whatever you want to do, you do. They were my parents. So thanks to them, I enrolled for my +1 at a college in Tumkur, which was about 26 kilometers from my hometown. Every day I was traveling by bus. One day, while walking back from college to bus stand, I crossed a bookshop that had featured this magazine, Competition Success Review, that had featured the photographs of IAS toppers of that year on its cover page. I was excited. I wanted to become an IAS officer and I was seeing the photos of IAS toppers. Immediately I picked up a copy, got into the bus. I wanted to learn and understand everything in that magazine, but I could not understand anything. That 40-45 minutes of my journey made me realize my biggest Achilles heel, biggest limitation of my life, English. I was very poor at English. Perhaps I was not poor, I was pathetic in English. So then after that 40 minutes of journey, I went back to home and I made another decision. I thought IAS dur ki baat hai. First I had to learn English to think of IAS. Then mission English began in my life. For next I hatched a plan. See, as I told you, I was traveling every day for about 1 to 1.5 hours. So I wanted to make use of that journey time to learn English. How did I do that? See, back then, there were buses with televisions. We used to call them video coach buses. I decided to board and travel only by those buses. In the journey, I started translating all the movie dialogues from Kannada to English in my mind only. Wherever I could not translate, I used to make a list. I used to go pester my English lecturers so much so that my English lecturers used to funnily remark whenever they saw me, they wanted to run away. So I used to pester them with so much doubt. Simultaneously, I started reading English books, English magazines, newspapers. I started making my own list of vocabulary. For those 3.5 months, I thought in English, slept English, drank English, ate English. I did everything in English. With that much amount of hard work, the person who was not able to understand a single sentence in that English magazine, the person who was not in a position to articulate his opinions and thoughts in English, has today written a book in English and is today standing before you and delivering a talk in English. Then I finished my 11th standard. I went to 12th standard. Then suddenly one newspaper advertisement caught my attention. That was about a district level science quiz. Then I somehow got excited. I wanted to participate in a science quiz, though I was a humanities student. I went to my principal and said, "Sir, I want to participate." Principal sir was shocked. "Arey, you are a humanities student. How can I send you to science quiz?" I somehow convinced him, and finally he reluctantly agreed and said, "Okay, whatever you want to do, you go." Then for the 20-25 days, whatever I had, I started brushing my general science knowledge, went through a lot of general science quiz books, and then went and participated in the quiz competition. You would not believe, I got the first prize, beating all the science students there. When I went to receive the prize, when I introduced myself as a student from humanities, the entire auditorium gave me a standing ovation. So, then I finished my 12th standard, but at the end of 12th standard, I had another thought in my mind. I felt my knowledge of humanities was reasonably well consolidated. I felt pretty confident about humanities. Then I wanted to acquire other skills that would help me in my profession as IAS. So I decided to choose a course in management. So that's how I landed in bachelor's in business management in Bangalore, where another challenge was awaiting. That was accounts. Basically, all my classmates had studied all those subjects for 2 years, but I had not studied anything. I was to compete with them, but again, as is the habit in my life, I took that also as challenge. Rather than studying first semester books, I started reading +1, +2 books. You would not believe that year I topped the class, and the percentage that I got was one of the highest in the histories of that college. So fair enough. Then since MBA was the logical continuation of BBM, so I prepared for MBA entrances. I prepared for quant, aptitude, reasoning, everything. So I stood first in Karnataka postgraduate entrance exam for MBA colleges. Here I was to make another unconventional decision of my life. See, all of you are aware, all these entrances exam, there will be certain colleges, right, which toppers would prefer. So because of placements, etc. reasons. Then I said, no, I would choose a government college, much to the surprise and shock to everybody again. Why? See, because I come from a middle class family, my only support was my father's salary, nothing beyond that. No ancestral property, nothing. So I did not want to strain my father's finances. See, if I had to choose an MBA from a private college, I had to spend more money, raise loan. Anyway, I would not looking forward to a career in management. So I said, anyway, I would do IAS. Why should I spend money on that? So that decision I took, and I went to government college, which was reasonably good, though not very well known for its placements. So I went to the government college, so finished my MBA comfortably. See friends, all these days I had nurtured my IAS dream. All these days I had done some rudimentary preparation for IAS. It was then I had to literally pull up my socks and get into the serious IAS preparation. Then back then, the notion was that Delhi was regarded to be the Kashi or Varanasi of UPSC preparation. So everybody thought, if you want to clear that exam, you had to go to Delhi. If you don't go to Delhi, you would not clear that exam. Almost 99% of the people had this opinion. So, but somehow, again, for the obvious reason of not straining my father's finances, I decided not to go to Delhi, stay back and prepare. Some people who were in that 1% bracket also gave me some confidence. So, I decided to stay back and I started my preparation. Then barely some 3 months into my preparation, so I got to know about an organization which was offering free boarding, free lodging, free coaching for IAS aspirants in Hyderabad. See, I didn't want to burden my father, and here was an institution that was offering everything for practically free. So great combination, right? So I immediately applied for it and I got a seat and I went to Hyderabad and joined that coaching. But again, barely 1 month into that preparation, again I was to make the most difficult unconventional decision of my life. Because I started feeling that I was in a different time zone, that institute was in a different time zone. Of course, their hard work, their service was phenomenal, praiseworthy, commendable. But I felt I was at level 1, when they were training everything from level 0, I felt I was a misfit there. There I had to make a tough decision of leaving everything that was practically free and coming back to Bangalore and prepare. See, when I was a student, I had a hostel seat at a very concessional price. But now I had to literally spend for myself, come back to Bangalore. It was a very difficult decision of my life. But somehow my inner voice told me, if you want to clear this exam, you please quit and go back. So immediately I came back to Bangalore. But as the saying goes, if you are determined, the whole world shall conspire to help you out. So I went to an institute called JICE in Bangalore to enroll myself for a course in IAS coaching. But I don't know what they spotted in me. Immediately they offered me a teaching job in that institute. So I was teaching for a few subjects in that institute. I was attending classes for a few other subjects in that institute. So I was able to earn. I was no longer dependent on my father. So whatever was there, everything God had set it for me. So with that confidence, I gave my first attempt. But unfortunately, I could clear prelims, I could not clear mains. That was a real shocker. All those days I was riding on the lion of success. But suddenly I tasted failure. I was thoroughly disappointed, shell-shocked. People started making mockery out of me. They started talking that this fellow was doing all crazy things in life, did not listen to anybody. See what has happened to him. It was a very painful some 2 weeks. But at the end of the 2 weeks, I literally I thought about the options before me. But there was only one option left. That was to come out of the depression and to strike back hard with full force, full energy in the second attempt. Then I decided to make a list of all the mistakes that I committed in my first attempt. I rectified all of them and then I was ready to hit that exam back. Then as again, if you are determined, the whole world shall conspire to help you out. I got associated with another madman like me in Bangalore by name Vinay Kumar GB of Insights IAS. See, he was also trading some unconventional path like me. When every other institute was focusing on expanding one's scholastic knowledge, this person was focusing on answer writing, test series, etc. Somehow his strategies and my strategies came together and I gave exam with full confidence, full preparation, leaving no stone unturned. Cleared prelims, cleared mains, went to interview. So finally that day of result came. See, even with full preparation also in the IAS exam, nobody would be very confident of clearing that exam, right? So they said that the results would be announced the next day. I didn't get sleep the whole night. I woke up around 3 a.m. and went to the temple. I was at the temple doorsteps even before the temple was opened. Then I sought blessings of God 1, hopped on to temple 2, God 2, God 3. Till afternoon, I was going from temple to temple seeking blessings. And around 12:40, 12:45, my WhatsApp started buzzing. Results out, results out, results out. Then immediately I wanted to open that result on my mobile, so it did not get opened. I asked my friend, see, you please open in your mobile. He opened, result got opened. He searched my name, Balaji. 5 results found. I was excited. Oh, at least one of those 5 would definitely be mine. First result, no. Second result, no. Third result, no. By the time third result was no, I felt I was already out of race. Because I was a general merit candidate, my ranking could not be beyond 500. So then somehow fourth result, no, and fifth result, my friend shouted, Balaji, you are selected. And what is the rank? All India rank 36. And I was like, tears started flowing on their own. What had actually happened was, my friend had scrolled down and started the search from page 2 while my name was on the page 1. So after fourth search result, fifth search result was mine. So finally, Balaji had arrived. With all my unconventional decisions of life had finally fructified. I had reached my destination. Friends, before I close, if a rural person like me can reach his goal, if a person like me with absolutely no exposure to English can reach his goal, if a person like me who is not blessed with extraordinary intellectual abilities like me can reach his goal, if a person like me who was never educated in any Ivy League educational institutions like me can reach his goal, I believe anybody can reach his or her goal. Friends, fear not to take unconventional decisions. March towards your goal. The glory is yours. Sky is the limit. Thank you.